Tenants say rent increases in Florida are out of control, but landlords blame high insurance costs. I'm Tony, and this is Real Estate Investing and Landlord News. All right, so I have an interesting topic for you today, and it's going over the cost of rent in the state of Florida. Now, Florida is one of the fastest growing places, if not the fastest growing state in the entire country. As people, they flee the cold weather, they flee the overregulation, the high taxes, etc. from all the other states, okay? So Florida, I mean, it is the place where I eventually want to move even, and it's a great state, great weather, but the big issue they're having right now is that the property insurance costs are outrageous. Okay, they have increased so much that is actually causing the rents and everything else to increase in cost as well. Now, obviously, inflation is a big issue throughout the entire country, but in Florida, it is particularly bad due to the insurance costs. Okay, they said that in some places, insurance costs have tripled in the last few years, and that's insane. Okay, now I pay higher insurance, property insurance, than I paid a few years ago, but it certainly hasn't tripled. Okay, it's insane to think, but a lot of people, they blame the weather. The weather, hurricanes, etc., are not the issue. Okay, the real issue is fraud and litigation by all these money-grabbing lawyers. Okay, that is the real issue. And I'm going to be going over this topic in detail because I have two great articles that are talking about the whole thing. So before I get into the article, go ahead, hit the like and subscribe button. Maybe leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think, okay? Have your property insurance costs increased? It doesn't matter what state you're in, but have you seen an increase in your property insurance costs? And because of that, have you been forced to raise the rents? And this is what I tell my tenants. This is what I say in all my videos, okay? The cost of everything has increased, okay? My property taxes have gone up. My property insurance has gone up. All my utilities, my expenses, everything has gone up. So don't expect to be on the exact same rent you were 2 or 3 years ago, okay? We have to raise rents to be able to cover these costs. And in Florida, this is a really bad issue because the insurance costs have increased so much that it is hitting these tenants hard, okay? All right, so this article, the first article I have for you today, it's coming from news4jax.com, and it says, local landlord overwhelmed with the cost of owning multiple rental properties, but has not raised rent. Now, this landlord is trying not to pass these costs on to the tenants, but eventually she's going to have to do it, okay? You can't eat these losses forever. But anyway, let's get into the article and see what it says. Jacksonville, Florida. Florida's property insurance crisis is one of the biggest issues in the state right now. A local landlord tells News4Jax despite the rising costs, she has not passed it on to her tenants. Landlord Laura Carrera is actually giving her tenants a break while she took a 54% increase in property rates. Realtors say there could be relief on the way, but they say local and state leaders will need to get involved. Consistent increases. When I look at overall, there's property that have gone up anywhere from, 10 to 12%, 2 years in a row, to this one, which is due this month, went up 54%. Since last year, $683 increase for one property, Carrera said. Yeah, and believe me, I know about, higher insurance costs being here in the Midwest. Hey, we live in Tornado Alley here, okay? So every year we've got, high winds, we've got tornadoes hitting places, we've got hard thunderstorms, we've got hail, and, the houses, they get hit, okay? But in Florida, we're talking about another level where, hey, there isn't just a small swath of land that is getting hit, even just one city. It's the whole state getting hit by multiple hurricanes every year. And I can see that, hey, there are going to be a lot more damage issues, but they build the houses different there too. They build them, to be able to resist these storms and hopefully take less damage. But there's still going to be a lot of issues. Now, obviously, flood insurance, all that is a different issue, but the costs are going to be increasing as we experience these bad weather events. I remember when I lived in Arizona. Now, Arizona is actually an interesting place because even though they do have extreme heat there, they don't get a lot of really bad extreme weather, right? And so my insurance cost for property there was significantly less than it is here in the Midwest. And I think we had one incident there where we got some hail, and that was it over the entire 4 years I lived there. But what can I say? I chose to live here in the Midwest, just like, the people in Florida choose to live there. We understand we're going to have to pay higher insurance costs, but the weather alone is not what's causing these costs to raise up, right? And that's going to lead me into the second article. I'll come back to the first article, okay? So this second article is actually coming from triplei.org, and it says, and that's the Insurance Information Institute, and it says, extreme fraud and litigation causing Florida's homeowners insurance market's demise. And I'm just going to read a little bit from this article so that you can kind of understand the issue here at hand. With its overabundance of unneeded new roofs on homes and flashy lawyer billboards at every turn claiming massive settlements on claims, Florida's insurance market is on the verge of failure. Even more, this man-made catastrophe is causing financial strain on resident consumers, as the annual cost of an average Florida homeowner's insurance policy will skyrocket to $4,231 in 2022, nearly 3 times more than the U.S. annual average of $1,544, according to an Insurance Information Institute analysis. Floridians pay the highest homeowners insurance premiums in the nation for reasons having little to do with their exposure to hurricanes, said Sean Kevalahan, CEO of AAA. Floridians are seeing homeowners insurance become costlier and scarcer because for years the state has been the home of too much litigation and too many fraudulent roof replacement schemes. These two factors contributed enormously to the net underwriting losses Florida's homeowners insurers cumulatively occurred between 2016 and 2021. So yeah, we've got, and believe me, I've seen what happens after a storm here in Omaha, okay? We literally have roofing companies coming, knocking door to door on every house in the neighborhood, telling you, hey, you can get a new roof. Okay, I've seen this. Okay, I've had them come there, and they will go up on a roof even if the roof doesn't have significant or any damage and be like, oh yeah, this whole roof needs to be repaired. Why? Because these roofing companies, they know they can make a fortune doing this garbage, okay? So obviously the insurers are getting hit hard by that sort of fraud and all these false claims being filed and all the litigation by lawyers, etc. This is a bad issue, and you see the end result. The end result is the state of Florida has insurance costs that are 3 times higher than the rest of the country. Okay, that's insane. So yeah, landlords are going to have to pass those costs on to the renters. But let me get back to the original article. That gives you insight into what's going on in this whole situation right here. She has 8 rental properties, all under the different insurance companies, and all their rates jumped. It's frustrating. I get angry, but why, Why, when we maintain our properties, we take care of them, Carrera said. We don't overuse insurance. We don't make false claims. Carrera hasn't considered selling her properties and is doing her tenants a favor by not raising rent. We have the ability to not pass that on yet, but eventually it's going to catch up, Carrera said. It's a ripple effect frustrating thousands of Floridians. Rent prices and insurance premiums are climbing, and some policies are dropped as insurers leave the state. On the bright side, the Northeast Florida Association of Renters says the real estate market is showing signs of stabilizing. These aren't big shifts, but in Florida, the Home Affordability Index registered at 79.5, which is a small increase from July's 79. A higher number means greater affordability. So, yeah, I don't know exactly what's going to happen, but they really have to crack down on the fraud, the false claims, and the litigation in order for the insurers to be able to make money. Okay, if the insurers aren't able to make money, then they're going to leave the market, and the remaining insurers are going to charge exponentially higher rates than what was previously charged. Okay, so this is a bad issue overall. This landlord, though, has not yet passed these costs on to her tenants. That's a good thing. Like I've said many times before, most landlords are good landlords. 99% of us are doing everything that we should be doing and more. And we're not trying to be mean. We're not trying to be evil, but we get caught up in the same inflation, the same tax increases, etc. that everyone else gets caught up in. So give us a break. Okay, if you're a tenant watching this right now, understand these are the issues that we face, and this is why we're raising rents.